I get recognized going to the mall, like, and someone was like, you look like Holly from Ink Master, and I was like, ha, funny story.
Isn't that cool?
Oh yeah, she seems hot.
Oh my God, after I was on the show, I went to get fitted for a bra. And when I got home, I was tagged on Twitter by the girl that fit me, being like, oh my God, I just saw Ryan Ashley's boobs.
I touched Ryan Ashley's boobs.
Hey everybody, I'm Ryan Ashley. Welcome back to No More Ink, the ultimate deep dive into the contestants of Ink Master, who also happen to be some of the strongest tattooers in the game. And today we are sitting down with the lovely Holly. So Holly, for anyone that hasn't followed your journey, what season were you on previously?
So my first season was season 12, Battle of the Sexes.
Battle of the Sexes. Creepy Jason was on that season.
Pawn was also on that season.
All right. I made an appearance that season as well.
You did.
Episode number 1, I'll say. So, what was your experience like in season 12, Battle of the Sexes?
I had a great time. I appreciated all of the critiques, everything like that. I made it pretty far, so
yeah,
no complaints there, but I definitely didn't feel like I was finished, hence why we're back.
Right, and round 2, right? After that first round, do you think your life changed? And if so, how did it change?
It for sure changed. I don't know anybody that didn't take advantage of the opportunities that we've been given whose life didn't change from this. I mean, this is like a huge opportunity to showcase who you are as an artist and also as a person. Like, people forget that like personalities can't be faked. So some of the people that came across certain ways, like that's who they really are. So
I mean, you could fake it for a little while, but eventually the game breaks you down and the real you comes out eventually, right?
For sure.
I know for me, Ink Master changed my life so much, not just professionally. It actually taught me a lot about myself and who I am in those situations, and not only how I compete, but how I handle stress and all of those crazy things.
Yeah, I definitely feel like there was a definite juxtaposition in the way that I kind of went about things and composed myself the first time around versus like how I've grown as a human, in this round. I was an infant the first time around. I feel I was like, I think freshly 24. I was the youngest one on the season. But, emotions are a weird thing for me, so I was very emotionally kind of like put off. And I was always told there's no tears in tattooing. So as soon as you enter the threshold of like your profession, there's like a professionalism that goes into it. You shouldn't get emotionally involved. Like, you have to be strong, especially as a girl coming up, like doing this for 10 years is like you, of course, have seen the changes in the industry and like the way that things used to be versus the way they are now.
Yeah.
So I've definitely allowed myself to be a lot more open with my feelings this time around, which is a weird thing for me.
Yeah, I'm glad. I actually completely disagree. I think there's tons of tears in tattooing, but because tattooing isn't just a job. Tattooing is art, and art is emotion. Yeah. And I think a lot of the time people mistake being sensitive for being weak, and I believe being sensitive means you actually care and you're passionate about what you're actually doing. You're 100%. Changing someone's physical appearance forever, so
100%.
Bring on the tears, I'm all for it.
Well, I brought them on this time, Jesus Christ.
So since then, how has your career changed?
It's changed exponentially. I mean, I get to travel all over the world. Like, I used to travel pretty frequently, but like now obviously I travel 10 times as much as I used to, and like 10 times as busy as I used to be.
You're booked all over the place.
Booked all over the place, and I used to never take appointments at conventions because I like the like walk up street shop kind of thing. Like, I have a book of Flash. You pick it, I stick it, and like old school, like it was super cool. And my husband was my barker. He was up in the front of my booth, like, what do you want to get? Where do you want to get it? He'd like do everything for me. He'd get the client, price everything out. He would sell them on the design, set me up.
That's so sweet.
I would put the stencil on and just tattoo it, and then he would wrap them up, do all the aftercare with them, take the money, do all of that. And so we had like this really great system. And like now after the show, like I'm booking out, and like conventions are getting booked fully. Yeah. And he's like, I don't have anything to do anymore. He's like, I'm not needed anymore.
Sell some merch. Yeah. You're lucky you have that yin and yang. My husband and I are.
You guys are both
competitors
equally
against
busy.
Each other.
Yeah.
And we always try to one up each other too. I'm like, oh, you're gonna do that? Well, I'm gonna do it too.
I'm gonna do it better.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. It's.
And I'm gonna do it with heels on.
Yeah. Well, he'll put heels on too.
Oh yeah, that's true. He seems like the type.
So, how did you feel when you got the call to come back again?
I was super excited because I definitely didn't think that I had shown enough you know, the first time around, and obviously as an artist, if you're not growing constantly, like what's the point? So I definitely have had this urge to like be re-inspired again and like fall in love with what I do, and like sometimes it gets a little stagnant, you know, when people are requesting the same things from you over and over again.
Right.
Of course I love doing eagles, so like yes, I love doing like traditional lady heads. Of course I love doing all of that, but like sometimes it's good to get like a little bit of a different inspiration and like
all of the time it's good to be inspired, man. I'm trying to break the mold and get people to realize that like you don't have to commemorate someone in your life with a specific thing. Like you don't have to just get a compass. Like get the weirdest you want to get, because you have the opportunity to make yourself so individual with your own voice and your own mind.
Exactly.
And yeah, I love that. So when you came back, based on all that new information and insight that you got round one, did your tattooing change this season?
For sure. I want to be more inspired. I want to take more risks. I want to be a better artist, so I want my art style to continue to grow. So the best way for me to do that is to just get out of my comfort zone completely. Like, comfort is a slow death and I want no part of it. So I definitely just balls to the wall, like let's try some new shit and around and see what works and what doesn't.
Comfort is a slow death. I love that.
Yeah.
So the first day when you walked into this season and you saw all of your competitors, what was the feeling? What was going through your mind?
I felt like the smallest fish in the pond, for sure. Like, you know, there were big shoes to fill in front of me, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this, but, you know, I'm gonna give it a good, honest try.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have a fire lit under your ass, though, right?
For sure, yeah.
So this season, all of these insane artists, each of them being a little bit different, do you think you left the competition with some new skill sets or tricks that you learned along the way?
1,000%, for sure. Like, that was the purpose of me coming into this, was like, I want to learn new tricks, new techniques and everything, of course, like 1,000%.
Is there someone or something in particular? Like, is there like a click in your head where you learned like a specific thing or like a spark?
For sure. I mean, especially like having worked with Creepy Jason before, like, and understanding like the way he works and like who he is as a tattooer and his art style and everything. I already had an understanding of it, and I feel like the first time around he didn't really sort of respect me as an artist, not as a tattooer, but as an artist. Okay. I felt like he was very like, she doesn't have it type of thing. And like, so this time around I was like, oh, I gotta work with this again, you know what I mean? So, but you know, towards the end, like, you know, in the tattoo that I went home on, he actually helped me a lot in like the design process, and like being able to pick his brain that way was like, it was really cool. And he actually said right before I left that it was the only tattoo that I've ever done that he thought was good, and like that he really respected and he really liked, and he's like, I would probably get that tattoo. So I was like,
it's like a level up for you.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
like level up.
Like a little boop.
That tattoo,
tapping my step.
Man, that tattoo was very cool, and I will say it was the most you tattoo
for sure
all season long. A freehand
snullet.
Snullet? That's what it was called?
That's what I call it, a snullet.
Snullet?
A snullet.
A freehand snullet. What was your favorite challenge during this season?
That one.
That one, the snullet?
The snullet, of course.
Dude, I loved it too.
I love the snullet. I also love the, you know, matching the masters, even though I didn't match my master. You know, that tattoo meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
Personally, and like, it was a lot of the style that I like to do normally, in terms of like, I love doing lady faces, like pretty ladies, especially like more like illustrative realism faces with like more traditional kind of elements or whatever around it. That's like my speciality. That's usually what I do. So that was very me. And I took the critiques that you guys gave me, and you know, I really appreciate them, of course, and I take them to heart. Yeah. So like on the next one, obviously I felt like I did a lot better, and I was super happy with the tattoo I went home on. I can't even lie.
Isn't that the best way to do it though? Because like as an artist, there is no worse feeling than being judged on a tattoo that you don't even stand by. And when you have to go home on a good tattoo, one that you actually feel strongly for, it kind of sits better in you. You're like, you know what? I actually back that tattoo, and
it was cool. Yeah, it was cool, and it was the start of something very cool for me, like artistically, and like I'm definitely doing way weirder and way cooler like that now in my free time, and drawing a lot of different styles, and not everything has a black outline anymore.
Thank God. Because, dude, the truth is, I saw something in you right in the very beginning when you did Nico's lover's eye. When we first saw all of those tattoos, yours was the first one that we were like, whose is that? That was good. And then I think you kind of got fumbled a little bit during the competition, and you really relied on like things that you know, things that you know work. And I swear to God, all season long, I tried to pull it out of you again. I tried to be like, Holly, I know you're more creative than this. I know you're wackier than this. And then you gave it to us at the very end.
I know, I thought it was gonna save me, and it didn't.
Your grand finale was the coolest one.
Yeah, but I'm happy about that because it leaves the path open in the future for even better, brighter things.
Absolutely.
So I'm happy with how I went out.
So when the Masters came back and they sort of raised that bar and set the standard, were you impressed by the tattoos that they did?
Can I say no?
You can say whatever you want to say.
Can I say no? Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, knowing Steve, I knew he was going to do the same tattoo, which he already did. So that was it. That's his tattoo. That's a Steve tattoo. I knew what to expect there, but, like, I was a little unimpressed with DJ's, honestly. And I was like, maybe somebody isn't as good as he was once, or maybe he's sat back on his laurels a little bit. I was a little unimpressed, and I think it came
By the
out.
design or the execution?
A little bit of both, honestly. There were definitely like some wonky ass circles in there.
Yeah.
Design wise, I was like, you just slapped a bird on it, you know? It was very muted, which I understand, like that was like what he was kind of going for, but stylistically, I don't know, I just don't think it holds up very well.
Yeah. So when Dave kind of dropped the bomb on you guys and announced that they were going to be staying, what was the body scan? What was the...
Mass panic?
Ink Masters, would you like another shot at the title?
Oh, no way.
You guys already won, like, give us a chance. You guys have already won.
You guys need to learn how to share.
Like, she doesn't even go here.
You can't sit with us.
You can't sit with us. But it was also like, we've already had like this established bond, and like you're coming in halfway through the season, like you don't know how these judges judge.
So you weren't stoked?
No, not particularly.
We were like, who's gonna drop the bomb?
You're like, Dave, shut up.
Dave,
Don't give him that
hey,
option.
Better Dave than me.
Yeah, true.
So what were you thinking before the elimination?
I was thinking that I did a good tattoo, and that I was really, really excited about it, and I really was hoping that it would save me, but I was also, I kind of had this like sense of peace of like, you know, if I die, I die. Like, I'm totally happy and content with the tattoo I went home on. I'm really excited for the future at that moment. Like, I know that I've done a good job. It's only gonna be up from here. Like, I only want more like this from myself.
It's bittersweet, but I'm definitely happy that you went out on a very cool tattoo.
I'm happy. I'm happy with the smell it.
So you said that your life changed significantly after season 12. Do you think the ball's gonna keep rolling? Do you think your life's gonna keep evolving and changing after this current season?
If it doesn't, like, I have failed. Like, I want to keep evolving. I want to keep growing. Like, I plan on using this as yet another stepping stone in growing myself, not only as an artist and a person, but like my life in general. Like, everything needs to grow with me. So I'm very excited.
I definitely saw growth in you from the very beginning until the very end. I think you finally just were like, it, this is who I actually am.
Yeah.
And you tattooed for you, and it was
It's
awesome.
weird that I love.
Listen, there is an entire world that loves weird shit. I feel like people keep requesting the same classic traditional things because some people that aren't artists don't know what they want until they see it. So it's up to crazy weird
People,
artists like
yeah.
you to show the world what's possible, what's capable, how weird and wacky things can be. You know, and own it.
I definitely like I said, I have a flashbook that I keep like all of my drawings and that you can pick from if I have time and whatever. And people would always come up to me at conventions and say, whatever you want to tattoo, like out of this book, like whatever design you want to do, like you can do it on me. And I would do the same thing every single time, and I would point to the same thing in my flashbook, and they would say, well, I don't want that. Like, and why do you want to do that? And it was just a chair, a wooden chair with a towel draped over the side of it. I was like, I want to tattoo a chair. Like, it's just like cute and quirky, and it's just weird, and I just want to tattoo a chair. And they're like, well, I don't want a chair. Like, I want something else. But I finally like was working on one of my friends and I just kept talking about this chair and she's like, would you shut the up about the chair? She's like, fine, you can tattoo it on the back of my leg, like where I can't see it. After I did it, she was like, I'm actually really pissed that I can't see this. Like,
yeah.
She was like, why the didn't I put it somewhere I can see? This is super cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's intimidating carving your own path sometimes.
Yeah, I'm like, I just want to tattoo a chair. Like, I don't care.
You should, next convention, you're gonna put a poster up being like,
I only tattoo chairs.
These appointments get priority. And then just put the weirdest that you're like,
yeah.
who the would want this?
Why
And
do
do
you
a
want
social
this?
experiment.
Yeah, just see what kind of people we get.
Okay. So out of all the tattoo styles you did this season, what style would you be super stoked to absolutely never do again?
Oh God.
You crushed Japanese.
I did okay on Japanese.
You did really good. It was a clean tattoo. What about color realism?
I honestly really like color realism.
You did great on the lover's eye.
I would probably say that armpit. Macabre.
Fine line macabre.
Macabre.
So fine line black and gray is not your thing.
I wouldn't say it's not my thing, just the armpit is not my thing. No thank you on the armpit.
Yeah.
Style-wise, I feel like that tattoo could have been a lot better if we put it somewhere else.
Do you have your armpit tattooed?
I do not. They're untattooed.
Oh, dude, get them tattooed.
I know,
You're
I
gonna
need
love
to.
it. Yeah. It's such a cool thing.
It's like the last spot I have.
It's the spot to tattoo as the tattooer, but having your armpits tattooed is awesome.
It's so cool, and I want them done
It's
so bad.
awesome, yeah.
I don't know who I'm gonna like throw into the fire with that one. Like, yeah, tattoo my
Some people
armpit.
love it. I don't mind tattooing armpits at all, actually. I've done a bunch and they're cool. I like having them in my portfolio.
Yeah, that's true. I just feel like that one wasn't.
Wasn't it?
That wasn't it for me.
That one hit different.
That one wasn't the one.
Yeah. So what about round 3? Would you ever revisit Ink Master again?
Of course. Of course, yeah.
How about that?
If it's an opportunity for me to grow, I'm 100% here for it. And in my opinion, I have not gone home yet on a bad tattoo. So there's always that experience.
Yeah.
Still
There's a
got
first
that
time
one.
for everything, right?
Apparently.
Leave the door open.
Good God.
If you could tattoo anything in the entire world, anything in the world, what would you want to tattoo?
I just like what I did with that Snullet man, and I'd like to do more weird like that because I'm all about it.
You can do like a Snullet crew and do like a whole rock band, like a whole snail rock band, and each one is a different
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I'm also working on a 80s mullet capybara right now. So
No, you're not.
Capybara Queen's gonna strike again.
Are you
With
serious?
the mullet.
That's what you do. You need to get a necklace that says Capybara Queen.
The Capybara Queen, yeah.
You can moonlight, have a secret.
I gotta make them a mullet heavyweight champion though, because you know they gotta match my energy.
You start like a whole new Instagram for capybara tattoos.
Just
It's like
capybara
your
tats.
life just snowballs into the capybara
Just
queen.
every capybara. No
right.
more sexy ones though. That one did not slap as much as I wanted it to.
Hey, there's a lid for every pot.
That's true.
All right, Holly, I am so proud of you and all the work that you've done. I think you slayed this season. It's been awesome talking with you and catching up. And yeah, until next time.
Till next time.
Round 3. Thank you guys for joining us today. And make sure you check out the Ink Master YouTube for everything Ink Master.